जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Jai Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Jai Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Jai Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Ashi Mataji, thank you so much. So, Harisauri Prabhu has already come. So, Hare Krishna devotees. So, we are very fortunate that today we have among us a very dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada, His Grace Harisauri Prabhu. We are very, very fortunate to have us with him. And I will give you a little bit of background. Prabhuji's little introduction I will give. That Prabhuji was born in England on November 17th, 1950. And in 1971, Prabhuji immigrated to Australia. And where on the next day only, he met devotees from ISKCON. And in 1972, which means next year, on 9th April 1972 in Sydney, he was initiated by Srila Prabhupada. And in 1975, Prabhuji moved to the newly opened, our very dear Krishna Balaram temple in Navan, and where he served for temple commander. And in November the same year, Prabhuji joined Prabhupada as his personal entourage, and he
जूते पहनने पड़ेंगे क्या?
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, we can hear.
Okay, good.
I think.
So shall I begin?
Yes, Prabhu. I think yes, you can. Girish Prabhu was giving the introduction, but I think he had a problem with the connection, with his internet connection. So yes, Prabhu, we can begin.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
First of all, thank you all for inviting me to speak. It's definitely the highlight of my day, any day, if I can speak about Srila Prabhupada. He's our life and soul. Now, I was just working on my Vyasa Puja offering, and I thought it would be nice to start off this session with me reading out that Vyasa Puja offering, and then if there's time we can go into questions and answers. So if you're all okay with that.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is fine.
I've got to get my, I've just got to get my program up. So you're all in Gurgaon, or you're spread all over the place? Giriraj?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the majority of the devotees, you're all in Delhi?
All in Gurgaon, Prabhuji. There we are.
Okay.
We have a Bhakti Vriksha group, and the group is also called Prabhupada Kripa Sangha, Prabhuji. That is
Okay.
so we have 2-3 Bhakti Vriksha groups in Gurgaon. So they are all. We all have weekly classes, but due to lockdown, we have shifted to these online Zoom classes, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. Just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to
Sure,
find
Prabhuji.
the file that I was going to use. Computers can be a great utility, but they can be very frustrating as well.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let's see what we can find here.
And we are also running this session on Facebook Live, Prabhuji.
I don't use Facebook that much, frankly.
Yes. We tried to find your page, but it was not there. So I realized you don't have the page.
I think there is one somewhere. There used to be one, but I don't use it that much. I do get messages sometimes, but let me see here. Just 1 second. All right, we got your video up. What I'm looking for is the offering that I just wrote. Just hold on 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So since this is not on a big screen or anything, can you see me on your screens?
Yes,
Or
Prabhuji.
are you seeing what I'm reading from on my computer?
If you want to show what you're reading from the computer, that is also possible, Prabhuji.
All right, well, I think what we'll do is I'll read through the offering.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And then after that, questions and answers, I think will be nice.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we're going until what, 8 o'clock or 8:30?
8:30, Prabhuji. 1
Okay.
hour.
All right, very good. Thank you all so much. All right, so there's this quote, therefore he is as good as Krishna. So this is, of course, the lead in to speaking about Srila Prabhupada. He's as good as Krishna. So this was in May 1976 when Prabhupada was in Hawaii. And
I think the light went off in Mayapur.
What happened?
I think the light went off, Prabhu, in Mayapur.
Oh.
He told us already that there might be few blind spots.
Where's the lecture? Let me call him, Prabhu.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. But I think the electricity went off.
Yes, the light went out. So just coming back on. Prabhuji just came back.
Yeah.
जब भी light, is it coming on? Prabhuji?
He will have to reconnect. So
Rameshwar Gaurang Prabhu, can you do a short kirtan when Prabhuji comes till that time?
Oh, yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prabhu. He has come. Prabhuji has come.
I think that's a little bit better for the visuals. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to read something from the Vyasa Puja offering that I made. I haven't sent it in yet, but it's going soon. So we're looking at no. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. I'm just searching out the file. I was just working on it and it cut out. Hare Krishna. Sorry for the delay here. I thought it was all set up, but we're still having electrical problems, apparently.
No problem, Prabhuji.
Wrong. Yeah, I apologize for this. It was working just before we logged on. Just one more minute. Hare Krishna. All right, I'm sorry, but this is a computer glitch. Okay, so this is my Vyasa Putra offering, more or less. That's coming up very shortly, of course. And so the presentation is from the point of view of participating in Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. So today we celebrate the birth anniversary of Srila Prabhupada. He is the living Bhagavatam and the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. The worship of Srila Prabhupada is actually more important than the worship of Lord Krishna. As His Divine Grace stated in May 3rd, 1976 in Honolulu, the other day, I have explained why the Guru is accepted as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Sorry, this is all in the Sanskrit as jumbled. So, if anyone thinks that the Archa Vigraha, the deities, is made of stone or made of earth or made of some other material, and that the Guru, the spiritual master, is an ordinary man, these things are forbidden. So why is the Guru to be considered Shakshadari Tvanasamaster Shastriya, exactly the Supreme Personality of Godhead? That reason is given there. The reason is that he is giving the Krishna consciousness knowledge. So that's like a little opening statement. So we had, of course, traveling with Srila Prabhupada, we had the advantage, because we always say that Vani is more important than Vapu, because the Vani can be cleared at any time. I mean, sorry, the Vapu can come and go at any time, but the Vani is always there to guide us. So Prabhupada always stressed that, but on Srila Prabhupada's party, we had the advantage of hearing from him maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. And Prabhupada was showing by practical example how to live a life of Krishna consciousness. So in August of 1976, Prabhupada had traveled down to Hyderabad. So on the 21st of August in 1976, Srila Prabhupada had participated in the opening of the temple. And the next day we had His Divine Grace's Vyasa Puja. And now, this is a couple of days later, on August the 21st, Prabhupada received the group of Indian Brahmanas in his room after the Janmashtami and Vyasa Puja, before they leave back to the south. So these gentlemen were very nice devotees. They liked the ISKCON devotees very much. They were very impressed with Srila Prabhupada, and they were eager to help us in any way that they could. So they came to visit Prabhupada in his room just before they left to go back to the south. There was some nice exchanges. Prabhupada was equally as appreciative of them. He urged them to sustain this spirit of cooperation and help spread Krishna consciousness in the world. He happily posed for a photograph with them, and he accepted a gift of a Shalagram Shila from Sampak Kumar Bhattacharya before they left. So that's a key point, which we'll see in a minute. Sorry, I've lost my scrolling there. Hare Krishna. So when Prabhupada received that Srila, he put it on his desk for a while. And when everybody had finally dispersed, Prabhupada asked me to get Pradyumna Prabhu. So for those of you that don't know Pradyumna, he was Prabhupada's Sanskrit editor, and he traveled on the party probably more than anybody else in ISKCON. He actually was a self-taught Sanskritist, and Prabhupada was also personally guiding him and developing him. So when this Srila was given, Prabhupada kept it on his desk. Everybody chatted for a while and then they left. So then Prabhupada turned to Pradyumna Prabhu. He asked him if he would like to personally worship the Shalagram Srila given by Sampak Kumar. So Prabhupada had obviously changed his mind about sending the Lord to the Bombay temple. Because in those days, at this time, August of 76, Prabhupada was well into developing and building the Juhu Beach temple. So about half of it was up at that time. And it was looking more and more gorgeous and attractive as each day went by. So Prabhupada, he took a round he took an inspection round, and then that culminated in Prabhupada sitting in his room with the Brahmanas just before they left. So with this Srila, Prabhupada turned to Pradyumna Prabhu and he asked him if he would like to personally worship the Shalagram Srila given by Sampak Kumar, which was sitting on his desk. He obviously had changed his mind about sending the Lord to the Bombay temple. So at this time, Prabhupada had not introduced Shalagram Srila worship in hardly any temple. In fact, in the very early days when the Western devotees first came to Vrindavan, that was one of the concerns that some of the devotees actually, when they went to visit Govardhan Hill, they kept some Sheilas in their pockets. Later on, Prabhupada found out about that and he instructed them to immediately take the Shalagrams back to Govardhan. As far as looking after them, he wanted them to be kept very simply, just for preaching work. So it was an important topic. And Prabhupada turned to Pradyumna and he asked him if he would like to personally worship the Shalagram Srila given by Sampak Kumara, which was still sitting on his desk. Pradyumna was readily agreeable, and so Prabhupada gave him some simple instructions how to worship. He said, so we can carry some fruit every morning. You just put flowers on the Vyasa, tulsi and water and flour to do the puja, and a little fruit, he said, and that's all. Then turning to the rest of us, he said, he has got tendency to worship, meaning Pradyumna. Gagamuni Swami was there. He said, yes, he's a Brahmana, Pandit. So Panditji, Prabhupada smiled, calling Pradyumna by his popular sobriquet. So as the meeting broke up and everybody filed out, Prabhupada finalized Pradyumna's new duty with him. He told him to buy a small singasan and a Panchapatra water pot and some fine linen, from which he should make a small dhoti and a chadar for the Lord. He was to worship him with flowers, tulsi, and gopi chandan. He referred Pradyumna to the painting in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, where Advaita Acharya was depicted as worshipping the Shalagram Shila to call Lord Chaitanya, and he told him to follow that example. He instructed Pradyumna, first thing is that when you take the Shalagram Shila, wherever you stay, this worship must go on daily. That you cannot stop. One day, sorry, my screen's gone. Sorry, lost my place. All right. So he's telling Pradyumna that he should worship the Shila every day. The seva cannot be stopped. If you can't do it, your wife can do it. And as your son grows, they had a 7-year-old boy that was traveling with us on Prabhupada's party. So Prabhupada said that as his son grows, he will also do it. So although Prabhupada sometimes complains about Pradyumna's smarta Brahman tendencies, he once told that he had saved Pradyumna from becoming a smarta. Still, Prabhupada recognized he had good Brahminical qualification, and so therefore he entrusted the Shalagram Shila to him. So the next day, August the 27th, 1976, in Delhi. At that time, I think we were camped out at the house of Sampat, I'm sorry, what's his name? He was the owner of the Lakshman Sylvania light bulb company. So he was very eager to associate with Srila Prabhupada. So when we returned to the temple, Prabhupada greeted their lordship, Sri Sri Radha Parthasarathi, and then mounted the Vyasasan for a Guru Puja in class. Actually, the temple at that time was in a little semi-detached building in Lajpat Nagar 3. So the devotees had had this huge Vyasasan made for Prabhupada, but when you put it in the room, temple room, it blocked half the space up. But Prabhupada didn't mind.